These sides faced off. Mariners. We'll take a look at the Central Coast Mariners starting lineup this afternoon. Emily Husband makes one big change with Brooke Nunn starting on the bench, and Shadeen Evans and Leah Puxty get in to start this afternoon. And Tiana Fuller, of 2 games, 2 goals, she starts on the bench this afternoon. Will we see her come on and continue that hot run of form? We will have to wait and see. But it's a good matchup for these sides. And there is Bianca Galich, 1 goal to her name so far this season. And I mentioned how this midfield battle will probably play a big part in determining who the winner will be, and she's such a crucial player. Can she create for the likes of Annalise Rasmussen? Can she find space and little pockets for this Mariners side to utilise? They are a good defensive team, but they need to score some goals. And this Western United side have shown that they are susceptible to conceding a fair few goals, so can they capitalise on that? And our referees for this afternoon's contest: Kelly Jones, assistant referees Emma Kobeck, Avril Beecham, and 4th official Beck Mackey. And our starting lineup for Western United: Kat Smith is forced to make 1 change with Sarah Eggersvik unavailable with a minor quad injury. Emily Roach comes into the starting lineup, and Alana Cern and Grace Ma anchor the fence as always. And Alana Cern is 1 game away from her 50th, the first for the club. And on the bench this afternoon, Claudia Miocic gets her first introduction into the matchday squad alongside the likes of Alana Cordolino and Isabel De Harkis. That is very much NPL Victoria heritage there, and the FC Bulleen Lions heavily represented. And we'll see if they all get on this afternoon. And there is Chloe Lagazzo. She is the birthday girl, turning 30 today. She'll be looking to get her side all 3 points. She'll play a massive part in the midfield, as she always does. But the last time she played on her birthday in 2023, it was up against the Perth Glory. She scored a goal that day. It was the only goal in that fixture. Will we see something similar happen? Will she get another birthday present? Can't be early if it is your birthday today, to be completely honest. And there is Em Husband. A big decision. Brooke Nunn heading to the bench. Nunn has been a really good player so far this season. Maybe not her best performance last week, but it is going to be a big change. Will this prove for Em Husband to be something that unlocks her side? Bringing the likes of Shadeen Evans on to the park. Can she create and get on the score sheet? There is Kat Smith. Really tough weekend of football last week against the Western Sydney Wanderers. 5 goals conceded. It was quite sloppy at times defensively. She'll be looking for her defensive partnership of Grace Ma and Alana Cern to be a lot more solid this afternoon. And at times, Western United, we've seen them defensively be a little bit sloppy at times, which we don't historically associate with this club. They've been good in the past. They need to refine that kind of form to get themselves into the right side of the league table. And there is Chloe Lincoln. She'll play a big part in that. Didn't have her best afternoon last week against the Wanderers. We're looking to rectify that this afternoon. And it will be the Central Coast Mariners who get us going. Taylor Ray, first touch. Ray's been a really good introduction into this Mariners side. Made the move in the off-season from Sydney FC. Such a smart, intelligent player, but this game, imagine it's going to be a little bit of a chess match between the 2 coaches. Don't foresee a lot of space being there. Not quite sure what that was. Lucky to get away with that. Cern. Lincoln also making the move from Canberra United, and this is cheaply given away. Chance for the Mariners if they can build something, and cleared out by Hieda. Nash. Nash has certainly been one of the best defenders throughout the start of this league. Making a move also from Melbourne Victory during the off-season. wanted to play more at centre back and been allowed that opportunity. And she certainly played well and up to those expectations. Ball not brought down that time by Galich. Able to keep it in play, and it's going to be first corner of the game for the Mariners. Taylor Ray. It's an interesting setup here from the Mariners. Western United clearly setting up zonally, and they're going to attack. And that just sailed over the top. Evans got a shot away, but it was cleared out. Always dangerous to defend like that, particularly if the side decides to run in. Can cause some confusion. Matchups are hard to find, and that's where sometimes you'll find free headers and easy opportunities at goals. Pass from Roach didn't get far. Sardo. Johnson lost it in the air. Regains it in a head. Just a little bit too much in that coming together. Ash Irwin and Carly Johnson. Ma. Grove. That pass had too much on it. Imagine the pace of this game won't be as electric as we've seen in others, but it's one of those games you have to grit your teeth and just find a way. Grove comes off Evans. So easy pass to Taranto available. That's exactly where it goes, and can find the second to complete the action. Nash. Langman. It's a good pass out if we can find Trimus. And it finds out of the field of play in the end. Still they battle for it. Roach and Galich just having a few words. Nash. Martin. I see Carly Johnson wanting to initiate that press, force a mistake. And there's a really good defensive side. You can see the expected XG, and that's sloppy from Western United. Rasmussen. Evans. Going to send that cross in. It's a good cross, but just too high in the end for Galich. Ray winning it back immediately. This is the relentless pressure of the Mariners. Got a pass forward available to Pinnock. Just too far ahead. Work to the advantage of Chloe Lincoln. Taranto searching a long ball forward. Just too much on it. And that's something we'll see from Western United a few times throughout this game. Wanting to get out and using the pace of Amy Medwin to try and latch onto those balls forward. This works, falls nicely for Western United. Taranto. Ma. It's a good ball out. Setting it up. Well defended. by Ash Irwin. It was a good ball initially. Pass down, works well, and that's the range of Grace Marsh. She can certainly do that. Smart play from Medwin, but Ash Irwin was always in the right position. Option coming short, sits it up nicely, headed on. I think he actually ended up coming off ahead of a Mariners player, so it's going to be another corner for Western United. It's a good delivery, and then headed away by, I believe, Ash Irwin. Lagazo, what can she deliver? This one, not a good delivery, particularly for a player of her quality. It is great to see Chloe Lagazo playing regular football and see her back in Tildas. Langman, see that pressure applied by Johnson. And that pass is not cleared just yet. Irwin needs to be careful, finds Trimmis. Got options alongside, wants to go through the middle of the park. It does feel like Western United are initiating that press, particularly when the ball goes back to Sarah Langman. That's what they want to apply the pressure to the goalkeeper. Test her ability to play out. Clearly, they've seen that as the area of one of the areas of weakness they can attack for the Mariners. Martin. Along the line it goes, and eventually out of play. Martin brought down by Taranto, and then that ball too far ahead. Ray wants to play it quickly. High ball. Panic at the header forward. Still like a pinball. Will it sit for anybody? Eventually does for Lagazo, but Ray, as she does, the disruptor. Making sure Western United can't build. Panic got the header on, but no one behind. To be mindful, as the area was lurking behind. Lagazo. It's a good ball out to Roach. And can find the next pass. Once again, Grace Marr with the range, this time a little bit too much, even for Amy Medwin to bring down. Battle. The ball eventually won out. Here, I believe it's the Central Coast Mariners fans in the stands. Oh, they're so good. The locals down on the coast out there to support their side. Been doing it since their return last season. Evans, really nice bit of play from the Mariners through traffic. First pass didn't work out. They get retained possession. Trimmis up against Sardo. Now Evans cuts it across. Could it sit for Rasmussen? Tried to play it for Pennick. Couldn't get her boot around the ball. Rasmussen did the right thing. Tried to set up a teammate. Knew she was slipping. Just to wonder how Evans was allowed to get that far forward with space. Lincoln almost shut down by Rasmussen. Garza was nudged off the ball. Switch out to Hieda. Good take from Kiwa Hieda. Still Hieda goes. Lagazo disrupted by Galich. Still they fight for it. Can anybody get control? Medwin shoved off. Taranto took a swing at it. Evans came from the back to challenge. Up and hobbling, Melissa Taranto. Nicely worked, that ball over the top to Hieda. She did well, but maybe needed some runners to come alongside her. She could find that pass. Roach, heavy touch. Sits for Johnson, and tried to take a strike, but maybe just took a little bit too long. Allowed the Mariners time to recover. Puxty. Evans. Drop deep and fouled eventually by Taranto, who just pokes the ball away, allows a side time to recover. But see that take from Kiwa Hieda, brought it down with the left foot, and then Lagaza was just forced to take a couple of steps back and just allowed enough time for the Mariners to come back and recover. You can see her teeing up that strike. Panic. Ray. Trimus. Got Evans up ahead. Puxty. The overlapping run. Trying to work some space, create an angle, and Trimus has just done that by herself. Cuts it back inside. Blocks by Ma. Ball sits high in the air. Need to be mindful. And Carly Johnson's not going to take any risks. She tries to clear it, but doesn't get very far, only as far as Martin. Lagazo. Running out of space. There's a heavy collision there. Puxty. I believe Julia Sato. Fullback on fullback crime. That's sloppy. Bringing the ball back in this area of the pitch. Evans. Ray. They're such a well-disciplined side, the Central Coast Mariners. Going to work their way out of tight spaces, and they're a really good defensive team, not just the defense alone, but the positioning they have across the pitch makes it really hard for sides to break them down. So, the long balls from Western United. Penick tried to split it, maybe caught between two minds, Evans or Trimus, and ended up working out for Julia Sato. Puxty. Ray. Galich. Evans. Can wrap her boot around, get past the looming Western United player. And they're all seeming very, very jolly. Very happy it is Christmas time. Everybody gets a little bit happier. Sure, it would make them even happier if their side could get all 3 points this afternoon. You can see the pull that Carly Johnson was mentioning, but good view for Kelly Jones to call it, and it works out for the Mariners. Galich. Smart pass, just too much on it in the end. Cern. Sardo. Just rolls underneath the foot of Carly Johnson. Medwin. Still Amy Medwin. Cut out just in time by Jess Nash. Take a look at that effort once again. Medwin did well, used that burst of pace, but Nash had the front position. Not able to turn and go. It was Emily Roach. Hieda. Roach. Lagazzo. Want to play quickly, but every time it just seems to get blocked momentarily. Trimus. Got past one, but can't get past the second. Somebody shouting forward, but I think it was Kat Smith and just wanting a little bit more from her side. Maybe a change of tempo. A little bit more to the press. Force it. Langman. It's going to come back. Chance to just sustain a little bit of pressure if you're Western United. Lock the Mariners in their own defensive half. Space created from Medwin. Cuts across. Just behind everybody. Ray. They can play quickly here, the Mariners, if they can get out. Some quick passes. Evans. Pennick has the ball sit nicely, but she can't keep that header in. Take a look at that. Touch from Medwin. Gave herself space and just behind everyone, and then Nash, I think, got the last touch on the way through. Johnson, able to beat Nash. She find the ball into the box. She can. There it is. Amy Medwin. There was the chance they were after. Just spraying it wide. Johnson found space up against Nash. And then Medwin just couldn't wrap her boot around the ball. Sides facing off back in round 2. 0-0 draw. We're going to pick up some points. Both sides. Rasmussen dancing with the ball at her feet, but can't get a step away. Really big performance from Sarah Langman that day in round 2. Had some chances, Western United just couldn't break through. You can see the possession fairly even. And surprising, the Mariners have just had a little bit more control of the game, but either side have necessarily created those high quality chances that they need to really change the tide of this game. First of them really being that Medwin chance a few minutes ago. Pass a little bit too much for Trimis, but it falls nicely for Evans. Trimis, she's got a little bit of space. Now Cern is out of position. Evans can cut it across to Rasmussen, just couldn't get the pass. Got her feet tangled. With Alana Cern having to step forward to attack Trimis. Just left a world of space behind, and Evans had Sato beat. Maybe she could have gone herself. We've seen her slip a few times. I'm not quite sure if they need a change of boots or something, but I've seen a couple of players fall in that box for the Mariners at crucial times. Trimis, Ray. Trimis once again. Huxley's in a bit of space on the left-hand side. It seems to close down, and that pass is not what they're after at this time. Taranto able to bring it down. Johnson. Maybe that pass to Medman was there the first time as Roach goes out. Langman just punches it away, but the flag was raised. And you can see clear as day, Emily Roach just a little bit too far in front of that line. Ray, Trimis tries to leave herself some space. Just closed down immediately. Puxty. Back to Puxty. Nash. He just momentarily stepped back from Western United, just allowed a little bit of space for the Mariners. They can just get the ball under control. Evans, been involved in this game heavily, dropping deep at times. Trimis. She works some space. And Rasmussen, just the outstretched boot. It needed to be a lot better. Particularly from a player like Peter Trimis, who's such high quality. Young Matilda, one of the brightest points throughout this competition. If you're talking about young players of the future, expect her in a Matilda's shirt. Galich did well to take it down. Still the run continues. Tried to poke it into the path of Rasmussen. Wasn't able to do so. Ray just went too quick. Lincoln just able to come a long way and just eventually launches it. Roach. Martin. And a bit trapped by Rasmussen. Kept in by Grove and eventually called out. Rasmussen, Evans, and then off the back of Kelly Jones. Does feel like Mariners are really missing a player of Izzy Gomez's calibre. Trying to make their way forward here. So integral, particularly in the final third, can create, can score. Went down in the game against the Melbourne Victory. I feel like they should be expecting her back in a few weeks. Have to wait and see, but she's such an important part of the midfield dynamic for the Mariners. Helps them at times when they do get a little bit static. Can't unlock key passes, particularly if a player can create for herself as well. Cern. This is a dangerous pass, but dealt with. Panic couldn't control the pass, it was heavy. Pieta, and it's going to come back for Galich. And maybe a little lucky. Did have a boot out, but to be fair, Pieta did clatter through. Ray. Panic. Eventually cleared by Ma. Lagazzo searching, and then one nicely by Jess Nash. Stood strong. And a chance for the Mariners. Trimmis all by herself. Evans was getting pulled back by Taranto, but Trimmis goes alone. Got Rasmussen pulling back, and then it misses everybody. It misses Panic, who was coming in late. Taranto. Smart touch. To work away from Evans. Anyway, disruptive, and there is Peter Trimmis. It was the right. Right. Lagazzo. Roach. And it's certainly an ambitious strike on goal. There is Annalise Rasmussen, Academy, formerly of the Central Coast Mariners Academy. Well, their first ever signing has been really good for them. Coming in and signing a contract extension up until the 25-26 season, which is really good. And that, if it goes over. Lagazzo, she does, and Langman just had to be mindful, just punch it away. Lagazzo. High ball to the edge of the box, and will still stay with Western. I was able to beat Panic, but couldn't get the ball into the box. Maybe a yellow flag. I don't actually know what that means in Formula One. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? But either way, play continues. Hopefully, they'll be all smiles at the end from a Mariners perspective, and I'm sure the Western Court would like to have some happy smiles and travels. That ball was waiting for Alana Cern to make contact, but couldn't in the end. Sado. Ma trying to switch it out to Sasha Grove. Goes down by Pennick. Yader. A little bit more from Kiwa Hieda, Western United. Carly Johnson, their forwards, just to create something. Hieda is such a tricky player, as we've already seen in this game, able to take players one-on-one. From Calder, Western United's academy. And just ever so slightly offside in the build-up. Evans, a really good game so far. Shane Evans, think of her typically as a striker, just up the top, but dropping deep, and that ball's given away cheaply to Johnson. Got Ray working behind, goes out to Lagazo, just forced a little bit wider than she would have liked, but gets a second opportunity. Hieda now up against Nash, and Nash took on two and won both battles. Emily Johnson just getting pulled back by Taylor Ray just to disrupt it ever so slightly, and Lagazo just got forced a little bit wide, rushed the first one, and then was smart to use Hieda. Just couldn't get it in the box as Jess Nash was ready and waiting. Fifth corner for Western United in this game. Ooh, a goal come from that. It looked like it hit the arm of Alana Cern. It was waved away. Taranto and bobbling around, and Langman had to be mindful. Grace Ma was charging through. Another shot on target. At these sides, 34 minutes into this game. It's a smart pass out to Martin if she can win out from Grove. Doesn't get it. Pennick. Galich. Trumas. Got options up ahead. It's a smart pass through. Just too far, too much on it. It was well worked. Trumas saw the space that was opening up, and it was a really nice pass. She might have slightly been off, just beaten Grace Ma. Either way, Chloe Lincoln was ready and waiting. Flicked on by Lagazo. Ma switching it out for Sado. Johnson got Lagazo. And Medwin nearby does a nutmeg. There was nobody on the end to receive the pass. Just had nobody in support. And Ash Irwin, but couldn't get past her. Panic. Really nice bit of football, showing some of the tricks in her bag. Trimus really starting to build as this game progresses, finding little bits of space. Puxty, and that's a good ball, and just too close to Chloe Lincoln. Rasmussen was nearby. It was a good delivery, just dipping too close to the feet of Lincoln. Grove trying to curl it. Will it sit for Johnson? Blocked by Ash Irwin. They've been really strong, the Mariners centre backs. And they've been tasked with a one-on-one battle in this game. Ash Irwin. Ash Irwin, and who usually fares relatively well. Winning a decent chunk of her battles and duels in games. Ma. And over the top. Easily dealt with. Good attendance out in Gosford this afternoon. Hopefully they're enjoying this afternoon of football. Not able to trap the ball that time. Martin needs some help, needs some support, doesn't get any, so Roach comes away with it. Tried to play it through to Johnson. Pass was interrupted. Hieda now, and you can see what she wanted to do. Just didn't execute it. That ball just fell for her, and you could tell she was just trying to wrap her boot around and curl it into the far corner, far post, and not able to do so as it trickled out. Evans, battle with Taranto, seen all game. Trimis just with a heavy touch, just gave Julia Sato just enough time to recover, but she finds the ball once again. That's poor from Johnson. Got Lagazzo through the middle. Still the run continues. Now Lagazzo up against Jess Nash. And offside was the call. Langman. Lincoln. Roach. Langman. Rasmussen. Ray. Out to Trimis, finding a lot of space out on that left-hand side. Need to be careful if you're Western United. Can't allow her to grow anymore in this game and be of influence. Galich just losing out, falling dangerously. Western United showing 7 shots to the 1 so far from the Mariners. Mariners have been able to, for the most part, control the midfield of this game. Just haven't done anything up top, but Trimis may be able to create something here. Long run continues, Trimis, and then effort in the end. It's just too easy for Chloe Lincoln. Saw capabilities of Trimis in that run, able to break away, create space. Obviously, she's probably a little bit disappointed with the effort. They need to get Chloe Lincoln working a little bit more in the goal. Have to put her under pressure. It's all well and good having possession. Being able to shut Western United down, but in order to win a game of football, you do need to score. And neither side so far have been able to really create high-quality chances. As Carly Johnson is just not quite sure who she's yelling at, but has to be a teammate. I'm saying it's not that hard. Let the professional footballers say that. Can't say that at home. Galich. Yater. Lagazzo turns and shoots, and that's what happens sometimes. It just feels a little bit difficult. You get stuck in the mud. These long-range efforts. Just taking more speculative efforts. You can't create. Honestly, a player of Chloe Lagazzo's quality and capabilities is able to get it done. Just not that time. Carly Johnson winning a free kick. High ball into the box, only yellow shirts surround Carly Johnson. I don't know how Western United come away with it, as Panic came in to break that up. Sato, heavy touch forward. It's a good ball, Roach. Got Medwin out wide, got a little bit of space. Can she get the delivery right? Ray with the outstretched leg. Still, they fight for it, and Nash comes away with it. Roach, Sato. Roach once again. That pass to no one in particular. It's not going to be a whole lot of added time. This first half has gone without many disruptions, so only going to have one added minute on. Is to be expected with these two sides. Actually, they don't foul all that often. They don't get put in the book all that often. There is confirmation of one added minute heading into the second half. If you are the Central Coast Mariners, you're feeling maybe a little bit positive. History shows this season they do score more goals typically in the second half. They've scored 6 as opposed to the 3 in the first half. Western United, it's identical for them as Johnson's able to break away. Needs to get the pass right. Zagazo falls to the ground. No foul call. Really physical battle this game. Panic. Play's been stopped. Going to play it down, and it's Annabelle Martin. And this doesn't look to be good. Not sure if she's holding her knee or what's happened, if it's a contact injury, or it's always really scary when players do go down. These kinds of situations. Yes, looks like it's a coming together of knees as that right leg came across and then it hit Carly Johnson. They're testing out that knee, obviously. Know exactly where we don't want it to be. wonder what they're chatting about from Western United. It does look to be up, and just take a look at it once again. Just coming across, it is a contact injury, so hopefully it's just something that stings and she's able to walk it off. It is very close to halftime, so they will be able to have the opportunity to make that call. And not too long to go. This half wasn't many disruptions during it, but to close it out is being a very slow walk to the halfway line. Puxty just nudged off as she went for that. Shaheen is just nudging Taranto out. And that's all it is for the first half. Cagey affair. Western United had the majority of the chances. I have to say, maybe the Mariners dictated play just a little bit more. It's 0-0 at halftime. Had some chances, looked to be better. Ellie Johnson able to get away a few times, but not able to finish it off in that final pass. But at halftime, it is the Central Coast Mariners 0, Western United 0. Some really good balls over to find his wingers bursting, and you see Kiwa Hieda there with the run. Touch onto it, but just couldn't find a teammate in the middle of the box. So the guys are just forced to retreat and then shut down by Bianca Galich. And Johnson was able to get away from Jess Nash. And Amy Medwin, that was probably the best chance of the half for Western United. Just couldn't wrap her boot around. It was well worked. Outside in, that's what they like to do. Just couldn't get it. So the guys are just in for that effort. It was a fizzing off the hands of Sarah Langman, but just not really troubling in the end. Take a look at the halftime stats, and there's Central Coast Mariners with more possessions. What it felt like throughout the game, but Western United getting more shots and more on target. Can they continue to do that and really put Langman under a little bit more pressure? Some of those chances probably weren't the greatest, but still lots to play out in the second half for both sides. Well, how will it all fare out? But all important stat, 0-0 at halftime between the Central Coast Mariners and Western United.
every moment live on Paramount Plus. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here starts January 19 on 10. An AFL Premiership winner, a headline-grabbing Olympian, and one of Australia's most famous comedians are heading into the jungle. Get ready to be starstruck. January 19 on 10. Get ready to cheer. Just like Liberty supports the A-League, they're on your team too. Whether you're planning a holiday or buying a new home, they will provide the assist you need to kick your free-thinking goals. Libby, loans for free thinkers. Pixar Putt is at Industry Group Stadium. Australia's much-loved pop-up mini-golf phenomenon, Pixar Putt is here at Industry Group Stadium for the summer holidays. Open 7 days a week until Sunday, 2nd of February. This is something you don't want to miss. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketek.
Well, the Ninja A-League season has provided us with some spectacular play so far. We've wrapped up all of the best action for an early Christmas gift for you to enjoy.
Chisari. Now Eunice. Silveska's on a hat-trick. Silveska! A hat-trick by the 27-minute mark. Sienna Silveska having the game of her young life so far.
Wissett finds a pass through the line. Early long shot over the top. Tamar Levin. It's spectacular. What a moment for the 20-year-old Levin.
His last 10 minutes and more are going to be dangerous as Ma tees up. Grace Ma equalises for Western United.
Now Hawkesby back to Dos Santos in close quarters. Hawkesby, brilliant goal from long range. It's Mackenzie Hawkesby, the scourge of Melbourne City again.
Winning that battle with O'Donoghue. Gallagher tees up Sheridan Gallagher. What an effort from Sheridan Gallagher. Her third ever goal in the competition.
Back out to the right flank. Emma Main trying to turn provider. What a cross! What an equaliser! It's Manoa Elliott for the Phoenix! And look at what it means.
On Friday night at Cooper Stadium, Adelaide hosted league leaders Melbourne City, and it didn't take City long to establish they are the team to beat so far this season.
And here comes a fast start for Melbourne City. Into the box already. Speckmeyer. Speckmeyer with a long shot! Speckmeyer with a goal! Mariana Speckmeyer finds the net with less than 30 seconds on the clock. She adds a goal to her scorecard. It's unbelievable. A fourth goal for the Venezuelan international. City gain control again. Oh no, oh no, it's gone in! That's incredible, Barbieri with an uncharacteristic mistake. And Melbourne City see red. Adelaide is on the board. That is one she'll definitely want back. Bosch making a move inside, gotta beat two. She does so. Bosch still with possession, moves it forward for Catherine Harvey. Harvey nearly beat the goalkeeper, still on her feet. And the cross was a little too long. Centering ball, and it goes into the net. Vlanic back from her Serbian international duties and back onto the score sheet for Melbourne City as she celebrates for the team. It's her first goal of the season. In the shadows of halftime, what can she conjure up? Sends one sideways, long crossing ball. The strike was on target, but it hit the woodwork. Katie Bowler nearly bowled the entire Red Stadium over with this. Speckmeyer looks to cross, gets it back instead, and Harvey nearly. Just keeps an eye on things over her left shoulder. Henry forward for Holly Mack. This time she's onside. It's a foot race. Holly McNamara to get on the scoreboard. She is back. Holly Mack is back. Back onto the pitch and back into the scoring circle. Holly McNamara in her second returning game this season for Melbourne City. Gets straight into the back of the net. Vlanic to make it 4. Poured away by Claudia Jenkins, and Emily Hodgson to the rescue. In front of the home crowd, a Christmas goal. Maybe it'll come from Fiona Wirtz. Setting up, a teammate chips it over the top. Clever little dinking ball from Fiona Wirtz. Second in. A little too hot.
Please welcome back to the field your Central Coast Mariners.
Well, we're seeing some fan-made art there, and maybe she might come on at half-time. But in the meantime, the second half will be underway soon. But right now, let's take a look at the A-League's offerings that you can consume during the week.
Hello, welcome to the Isuzu Ute A-League download.
Am I talking about the right game?
Yeah.
Welcome to Dub Zone. A lot of big names have gone. A lot of leaders have gone.
Hello and welcome to Total A-Leagues.
I still think he's in the top couple of strikers in the league.
They employ that high press, which makes it extremely hard to play out of.
Welcome to the wall. You know who it reminds me of? The Pringles logo.
There's a whole heap of content to be watching, so don't miss out and keep up to date with all of the action. But the second half is not too far. You can see the Mariners have done well defensively, held their shape. Western United have had more chances, but you have to say Central Coast Mariners dictated probably the pace and the tempo of that game a little bit more. And there is the substitute at halftime. It is Chiara Di Domizio, who's coming on to make her second appearance of the season. Her first appearance was back against Sydney FC a couple of rounds ago. She played 2 minutes. She scored a goal almost instantly coming onto the field of play, and she's only had 3 touches so far this season. So that's a pretty good stat line for the young forward. She comes on. So change front for Kat Smith, looking to inject a little bit more energy up front. Maybe a little bit of that luck as well. And from Di Domizio, they got her on the score sheet against Sydney FC to get them the 3 points. We are underway in the second half. Rasmussen. Sardo. There is Di Domizio. He's touch number 4 and actually tackled down by Leah Puxty. Take a look at that again, and just feels like that's a WWE move. There's confirmation of those halftime substitutions. Medwin forced back to the path of Sasha Grove. Ma. Lagazzo. Still Medwin, just nudged Annabelle Martin off. We saw Martin had that collision just before halftime. And she is back. You've got that knee taped. So obviously the all-important ACL test was passed, and that's probably the most important thing. She's able to continue playing. Ray. Rasmussen. And couldn't find that pass out. Taranto ran into Taylor Ray and was awarded the free kick. As we see, just Ray holding on to that left arm and just pulling ever so slightly. Headed away by Taylor Ray, but it's going to come straight back. Dangerous, those kinds of ball. It's into the box and takes a bounce. Just can fall into no man's land. It was dealt with by the Mariners' defense. Pennick searching, has to go the long way. Puxty. Now Trimis. Saw her get active as the half progressed. Getting forward. Maybe not the chances falling, but it's lively as well with Shanine Evans, who was dropping deep. That's a good ball. Inviting for Puxty. And then a nutmeg on Julia Sato. The ball is good. And Evans with the diving effort just couldn't get ahead to it. That would have been one for the highlight reel. Everything was perfect. A nutmeg across into the box. And Evans did the right thing, but just couldn't get her head on it. Just barely missed it. And then got her head to the boot of Chloe Lincoln as well. Got a knock, but that's the kind of effort you want if you are M. Husband sitting on the bench. Those kinds of deliveries. Owen, Ray. Panic. Rasmussen, quick passing, quick feet, and that effort was just not one of the top 3 options available. Not sure if it was a shot or a cross. A cross was previously from Leah Puxty. Very, very good. Nash. Rasmussen. Beaten out by Taranto. Puxty. Ray. Rasmussen. Making their way through, but Rasmussen just got stuck with the ball at her feet and then immediately closed down. Nash. Good ball forward for Martin, but Grove using her pace to get in between. And ball forward now. Di Domizio. Just going to send it into the box, but there's nobody there. I don't know if anybody has got a bit of start to a season, playing one game, on for a minute, score a goal, something like that. Maybe somebody scored 3 goals in 3 minutes to start a season out. It's very impressive. Di Domizio scoring that header to beat out Sydney FC. Lagazzo, nice back heel for Roach. Ball forward, but just not on the same page as Johnson. I think Carly Johnson was trying to work her way outside, and Emily Roach wanted the ball to go through the middle. Evans, Pennick, wins out, beats Roach, got Rasmussen through the middle, Trimmis on the outside, and couldn't get past Cern. Medwin searching for Johnson. Up against Nash. Nash won the first one, but Johnson continues. Will she run out of space? She won't. But Irwin there to help out her centre-back partner. Carly Johnson and Jess Nash probably paddled against each other a few times. Junior representative times, young Matildas, things like that. Trimmis. One back by Sato, but immediately one back, and then Sato wins out. Irwin. Ray. Pennick. Evans. Well worked to Martin, got numbers in the middle, and there's Trimmis. Couldn't direct it goalward, just ball to body contact, had really no control of it, and just couldn't find a teammate nearby. It was a good pass from Evans out to Martin. And Trimmers just maybe the angle, slightly on an angle, and just couldn't make contact with either boot. The ball was kind of caught in between. They've had chances now, the Mariners, in the second half. And with that cross from Puxty. Now the one from Martin, who sets up for this corner. And doesn't get near enough to any Mariners player. Gets a second effort at that. Ball's a little bit better. Evans got a boot to it. Just straight at Chloe Lincoln. Evans is having a really, really good game. Hasn't got on the score sheet, but having moments. Lincoln. Now to get some extra meters, some distance on the ball forward, and that one too much distance. It's a good ball from Martin. Everybody was just caught a little bit flat-footed from Western United, and Evans made the run. Being on the end of two really good crosses. First one just narrowly missing out as that flying header. The second one just straight at Chloe Lincoln. Puxty. Cut out by Sardo. Grove. Johnson. Medwin. Nudged off, but the run continues. Medwin. Langman had to come out. Ray didn't get the contact, but Langman recovered just in time to deny Emily Roach. Not sure what happened. Martin made the nudge. Medwin kept going. Ray couldn't get contact, and then Roach with that effort may have been going wide. And Langman didn't allow anyone to second guess it. Roach. Di Domizio up against Puxty. Can she get the crossing? She can, and there is Carly Johnson. The substitute sets up Johnson, who was ready and waiting at the far post, free by herself in the box. And she gets her goal to separate these two sides. Her third goal of the season, Carly Johnson. And Di Domizio adds an assist to her goal this season. It was a good cross into the box. And Johnson was all by herself. Not a Central Coast Mariner defender in sight. Must be a frustrating goal. You feel the Mariners have been good defensively. One of the hallmarks of their game, but Carly Johnson was allowed way too much space in the box. And now, Em Husband forced to make a change. Peter Trimmis coming off, for Brooke Nunn. So Nunn, who started last week onto the bench, was replaced by Shane Evans. Now comes on. Interesting that Trimmis is the one off. She's been relatively good this game, Peter Trimmis. Medwin. Able to break away. Johnson feeling a little bit more confident after the goal. And that cross deflected out. Carly Johnson, 3 goals so far this season. 1 assist as well in all the appearances. The consistency in front of goal is probably the next step you're waiting for with Johnson. To be an even bigger threat for this Western United side. Lagazzo. Ball sits up, headed on by Ma, and calmly collected by Langman. Evans. Just off balance. Be back for Western United. Quite a quick response from M. Husband after that goal. You imagine it was already set up, but none, impact player, and there she is. There's confirmation of subs from the Mariners. Panic. Evans can switch it. That's a well-weighted pass. Galich. Maybe wasn't the best passed option. Had Annabelle Martin in space by herself, and that ball just sits a little bit short. And that ball over the top for Carly Johnson. 1-on-1 with Langman. Langman comes to meet her. Around she goes, and there's the second for Johnson. And just like that, we were waiting for a goal, and Carly Johnson with a great ball over the top, took it well. Langman had to come and make herself as big as possible, but as soon as Johnson was around, she wasn't going to miss from there. Really good ball from Amy Medwin. Just caught in between Puxty and Ash Irwin. And that ball fell so nicely. Took it in stride. And able to get around Langman, who was just caught in the middle of nowhere and didn't have a lot of support available. But Carly Johnson on a hat trick now. 2 goals in very, very quick succession. Ray. There's Roach, fouled by Taylor Ray. And it's all well and good. Mention about possession as the Mariners had, but you have to take your chances, and it's exactly what Western United have done. Johnson finding herself in a little bit of space on the end of the Dita Mitsuyo cross. And then the ball over the top, took it in stride. Comfortable finish. Now being 2 goals down for the Mariners. Goals this season have been something at times that have been hard to come by. Taranto trying to find Dita Mitsuyo, who just turns on accelerator and just couldn't get past Puxty. Sato. And that ball easy in the end.
Let's go. Get back in, Roachie. Come on. Get on.
And now with Western United sitting as they are 2 goals up in this game, they're able to just take a few more risks, and if they're able to hold on, they are currently sitting on the live ladder in 4th place. Somewhere you would expect, and it looks like that ball hit somebody's arm. And free kick is awarded to Western United. Take a look at that effort. Came up, not sure what it came off, but it was very close quarters, that impact, so it would be very unfortunate and unlucky. Taylor Ray was to concede a penalty that way. The Mariners, if it continues like this, they are currently sitting 6th on the league table. There's only 2 points to separate the two sides on the live ladder. Yeah, sides that are relatively similar statistically. Pennock. Galich. Martin. Met by Grove and tried to find Brooke Nunn in the middle. Galich. Martin. And that's too close to Chloe Lincoln. Yes, that ball's just poked out of play. Medwin. That's a good ball. Alignment. Saw it. Idemizio was lurking behind. Puxty. Nunn. Roach. Idemizio gets a little bit of space, but immediately shut down by Puxty. Yeah, it does look like Mariners are getting ready to bring some more players on. Could we see Tiana Fuller? Obviously, last two games, she has been on the score sheet. The young 16-year-old. And they need goals right now. Ma. A lot of numbers at the far post. And that ball doesn't work its way into the field of play. And it does look like Tiana Fuller is going to be the one who comes on to replace Shay Evans, who's had a great afternoon of football. Didn't get on the score sheet, but probably one of the best games we've seen from her. Just getting involved in the play, but just unable in the end. And we are also going to see Jade Pennock head off as Tess Quilligan comes on. Another one of those Sydney Uni players her husband is so familiar with, having coached them. Good spin from Quilligan. First action. Roach. As Idemizio had strayed offside. None. Just showed a little bit too much of the ball to Medwin. Cleared. Just maybe tunneled under the ball ever so slightly. Galich. Eventually the ball finds Martin. Nunn. Galich. Has to slow the run momentarily. Quilligan. Searching for the next one. Galich. Rasmussen. They've done so well to get themselves there, the Mariners. But just that late execution is probably not the best option for the shot on goal. Lincoln can't get past Quilligan, but immediately given to Roach. Irwin. Langman. Ray. Martin, that ball is never really going to trouble Grace Marr. The Central Coast Mariners, they are a side who have a good home record. They've yet to drop any points at home. Well, this ball's into the box and Marr wasn't dealt with. Potential foul there, waved away. Lagazzo, Johnson did well to get control of the ball, searching for options, and then in the middle of that search, it allowed Ash Irwin enough time to get the ball away. I was mentioning the Mariners yet to lose a game at home this season, and West United are yet to win a game. They've only got 1 point so far away. It was a draw. So, turn of fortunes for their season, potentially. Particularly for Western United, if they get the 3 points. Dinamizio. Really would love the return of Izzy Gomez, the Central Coast Mariners. As Brooke Nunn charges forward, sends it across, and blocked by Marr. Brooke Nunn, such an experienced player. Won WSL twice. England youth player. She does, at the moment, want to play for the Nigerian women's national team, the Super Falcons. It's something that she has Nigerian heritage. So she's able to accomplish and achieve that goal. Just a momentary pause in the game for cramp. Gonna get treatment off to the play, so we should be able to get going relatively soon. And we are back underway. Ray. High ball into the box. Rasmussen got ahead to it. Headed down for Fuller. Puxty. And just sailed over as Ray launches, and certainly sailing over. Good acquisition, Taylor Ray, for this Mariners side. Certainly helped that midfield to stabilise it. She can find a pass when she needs to, but such an experienced player in that midfield. Obviously was with Sydney FC, had that ACL injury that took her out. We saw her return last season, but more playing time at the Mariners, such a pivotal player. Fuller, and that effort just spraying wide. Couldn't get her third in 3 games just yet. Cat Smith must be pleased with the response in this second half. The Mariners started probably the better of the two. Those chances with that Huxley cross and the Martin one also. And they return serve with the Chiara Di Domizio cross into the box. Galich, still Galich, pushed down by Roach. And a win, free kick for her side. Getting away, and Roach did exactly what was needed ultimately, just forcing her down and slowing the momentum. Carly Johnson. 2 goals that separate these two sides. Martin launches and launches it straight into the hands of Chloe Lincoln. Been able to do this a few times, Chloe Lincoln, throughout this game. Everybody just kind of lets her bring the ball out of the box quite far. And there is Di Domizio. Looked a little bit strange that she'd found that much space on the far side, but it was offside. We're going to see substitution for Western United, I believe. Emily Roach. And we're going to see Isabel DeHarkis come on. So DeHarkis, centre back. So is DeHarkis going to play in the midfield where Roach was, or slot in defensively to shore up this game as we near the end? Johnson searching. Ray now finding Jess Nash. Rasmussen, Ray. Irwin just losing her footing, and Carly Johnson on a hat-trick just showed a little bit too much of the ball to Sarah Langman. That surely should have been her third and her hat-trick. Was gifted a chance as Ash Irwin lost her footing. Johnson not able to capitalise and really put this game away. Just look at that again. Irwin just tripping herself up. Johnson, just that touch there, showed too much of the ball to Langman. And able just to snatch it back up. Look at that again. That touch right there, just too much. And Langman, second effort to make sure Lagazzo isn't going to get a follow-up effort. Ray would switch out if none can get on the end of it. Ray. Milligan. Deflected by Taranto. Medwin. And as far as Ash Irwin. Have to be careful. These Central Coast Mariners defenders, they're just getting a little bit sloppy. Good for those one-on-one battles for the most part in this game, as Martin has found a little bit of space as Grove went forward. Now Brooke Nunn on the edge of the box. Nunn sailing over the top. Brooke Nunn, it was a husband decision to put her on the bench. Hopefully that, if you're a coach and husband, you're hoping it motivates a little bit more. Could obviously also have just been a tactical choice to start with. Sheen Evans and Trimus and Rasmussen up top. De Harkis. Start of the season, the starting lineup, Isabel De Harkis as well, and it's just in recent games been coming off the bench. As we look at this speculative effort from Brooke Nunn, always sailing. Took a flight off the field of play. Dinamizio trying to split the pair of Mariners. Again, Nunn. It's a good ball for Rasmussen. It sits up well, but she's forced a little bit wide. She's going to need some teammates to help her out. Still she continues, cuts through, and that effort was the right idea. Maybe just not the right contact. Straight to the hands of Chloe Lincoln. Just couldn't curl it around enough. Did well to get past Grove and Cern and get the shot away. And husband having a chat with Beck Mackey, fourth official. Not pleased with something or some of the calls. Everybody was just a little bit more frustrated when you are down a goal. Just feeling a little bit more of the pressure. Just did a couple of U-turns. And eventually the Mariners come away with it. Ma. Golf chip shot over to Amy Medwin. It now finds Johnson. Up against Nash. Said that a few times in this game. Did well there, Carly Johnson, just to find a little bit of space. Sends it across. And then got to touch somebody, I believe one of the Mariners, forcing it out. That was a nice bit of trickery, and I think it was Asher when he got the final touch. Lagazzo, everybody lining up at the far post. Will they come charging to the near post? And it sits up, and it's the path of Taranto. And there was a foul was called, I think. Leah Puxey was forced off ball. It was a poor pass from Langdon, but Ray made it work, and then the follow-up pass wasn't good either. Irwin. Huxty. Playing with fire here, the Mariners, and then they're picked off. Didamizio took a strike. Was the pass available? Who knows? Right now, the Mariners' goal is just living a little bit of a charmed life. Martin. Searching. The good ball in, headed on. By Tiana Fuller. Wide of for her third of the season. It's an inviting delivery. Made contact, but just couldn't direct it on target. 16 years. Some of these stats up there. They spoke about it on Dub Zone this week. Teo Pellizzeri and Teresa Police talking about the records of players who've scored goals early in their career, making the names of the likes of Sam Kerr, Princess Abini. How great Sam Kerr is, and he's had such a long career in this competition. Some Matilda's caps as well. Hopefully for Tiana Fuller, those kinds of things are in her future. Scoreboard may not be going their way, but they're still having lots of fun. Still very merry. Very happy. Maybe not as happy as M. Husband on the bench this afternoon. Got to find some answers. Got to find goals somewhere. Son just wants to make an appearance in this game. The Harkers. Nash. Langman. It's a kind of stretch for that effort. The Harkers. She is playing more of that role that Emily Roach was playing before she went off. Didamizio, can she keep it in play? No, she can't. That ball, can it sit for Johnson? Can. She's just forced wide. And I think it's going to be a throw in. It's actually been awarded as a free kick. And Milana Cordolino, another NPL Victoria player, about to make her way onto the park. We'll see who she replaces. And that ball finds its way into the net. I don't know how. Grace Ma, as she always does, she seems to score the spectacular goals. She did it against Newcastle earlier in the season, and now she's done it again. Nestled in at the near post, just curling, and Langman tried to reach, couldn't find it. And there is Grace Ma. She may be a defender, but she has a knack for scoring the spectacular goals. Really, really nicely done from Grace Ma. And that will certainly be the decider in this game as Amy Medwin heads to the bench and Alana Cordolino comes on. You can see how pleased Kat Smith is with Medwin's performance. And the young forward, Alana Cordolino, get on the score sheet. Can Central Coast get a consolation goal? Rasmussen turns, tried to find Galich, falls to Martin, sends it across, knocked forward by Lincoln, and then Rasmussen with the follow-up effort finds a goal, and those Mariners fans love it. A local getting on the score sheet, her third of the season. Not the best from Chloe Lincoln, just left that ball waiting for somebody to attack it, didn't deal with it the first time. Martin did well, just took a strike, forced Lincoln to make a save, and there was no Western United defenders anywhere. As Leah Puxty made her way onto the bench after that, but Rasmussen getting a consolation goal for the Mariners. It would be spectacular if they're able to come back. Dino Mizio picks it up, got Lagazzo in the middle. That's where the ball goes. Cleared by Martin. To Harkis. Dino Mizio. That's a good cross once again. Headed away. Johnson. To say it's one thing I've been really impressed with about Chiara Dino Mizio is her delivery into the box is quite good for such a young player. Seen a few times in this game. The ball's been inviting, maybe teammate hasn't got on the end of it, but she's been really good at just executing it and putting it in a place where the teammate at least has a chance. And it's going to be 6 minutes added on. Substantially more stops in play than we did in the first half as Alana Cordolino tries to use her pace. Now picks up the fight with Nash, and just from the hustle alone is going to win the ball back for her side and going to get her side a corner, and that's the kind of effort you want, even 3-1 up from a young player, first season in the competition, not giving up on the play. Unfortunate for Sarah Langman, that goal from Grace Ma. Just maybe she wished she was just a little bit taller. Just beating her out. Lagazzo. Can she set a teammate up on her birthday or even score herself? That ball was not great. Clegan, Ray brings it down. That ball headed away by Cern, just trying to get it as far as possible. Galich cutting inside. Galich with the effort. And once again, straight into the hands of Chloe Lincoln. Milligan did well to beat a few out. Look at that effort from Galich. Found space. When you're 3-1 down, you might as well take the effort. If they can get one in the next minute or so, we'll be on for a very nervous finish for Western United. Never been a high-scoring fixture. Never been more than 3 goals scored in it. Not 4 this time. Will we see a 5th? It's a good ball. Dino Mizio can do the attacking work, but also can show up defensively. Played short to Ray. Pass inside. Just needed to be a little bit better from Martin. That's a good ball for Galich, closely followed by Cern. Martin. Ball cleared by Taranto. Cleared once again, Quilligan. Ball down, but not to her advantage for Bianca Galich. It'll be another corner for the Mariners as we near the end. Right to the near post once again, cleared. None. Cutting it back for Rasmussen. Read well by Taranto. Searching that ball into the box. Lincoln was not in the right position, but Cern was. Can hear Kat Smith encouraging her side, not letting up, even 3-1 up. They may just win the ball back here through to Harkis, but the Mariners eventually come away with it. Martin. Trapped between two Western United players there. Eventually cleared. Not too long left in this game. Final whistle should be coming very, very soon. And there it is. It started as a cagey affair in the first half, but it broke open in the second, and Carly Johnson was the recipient of some really good luck and some great passes from her teammates. Got 2 goals to her name this afternoon. Finished off with a fantastic set-piece goal from Grace Ma, who just has a habit of scoring. Goal of the week contenders every time she gets on the score sheet as a defender. Mariners able to get a consolation goal back through Rasmussen, but it wasn't enough, and they have their first home defeat of the season. It is the Central Coast Mariners 1, Western United 3. So take a look at some of the highlights from this contest. There's this effort from the substitute, Chiara Didomizio. The ball into the box, perfectly weighted for Carly Johnson, who had just been left by herself in the box. Couldn't have scored an easier goal. Well, her second goal was relatively easy after she got past Langman, but that effort, it was Martin maybe who had been her direct opponent coming off. And that ball into the box fight by Didomizio, really nicely done. And then that pass from Amy Medwin was perfect. Johnson, good touches around, and then as soon as she beat Langman, all she had to do was just hit the target. There's no chance those Mariners defenders stopping it. But really well taken, took it in stride, but a beautiful ball to Amy Medwin, who did honestly a lot of that work to set Carly Johnson up to get her second. It's been a really promising afternoon for Johnson. And then Grace Ma does as she does An excellent finish. Langman just maybe wish he was a little bit taller. It doesn't matter. Very smart. Another goal. And another goal of the week contender. But this was the consolation goal for the Central Coast Mariners. Lincoln forced that ball into the middle of a dangerous area. And there was Annalise Rasmussen there to find the back of the net for her third of the season, but wasn't to be enough. Those Mariners fans loved it either way. They love their side. 60% possession. It's great to have possession, but sometimes you need to find the back of the net. The shots ended up increasing for the Mariners. Western United continued that pace, 8 on target, only 6 for the Mariners. That was all quite late into the game. But ultimately, it's Western United who capitalised on their chances, took them when they needed to. The Mariners have some questions they might need to answer going forward, but it doesn't really matter because they've got all 3 points if you're Western United. Amy Medwin, good afternoon of football for her, and Kat Smith, not looking too happy there, but I'm sure she's very, very happy her side was able to get the all-important 3 points. Their first win away from home. We've got some more football after the Christmas break. We've got Adelaide taking on the Western Sydney Wanderers on Friday night. That should be a really entertaining game. And Perth Glory close out that Friday, taking on the Central Coast Mariners, who want to bounce back as well. And then the Saturday, we've got big blockbuster matchup. Sydney FC taking on Melbourne Victory, 2 really big clubs. And Melbourne City and Wellington Phoenix close out that Saturday. And then to close out the round on the Sunday is Canberra United taking on the Newcastle Jets. Expecting some goals in that contest. And then to close out the round, 7:45 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, Western United taking on the Brisbane Roar. That is going to be a great afternoon themselves yesterday, and now Western United. Em Husband having some words for her side. Going to have a lot more words as the week goes on. They need to find some answers up front. They need to find goals, have the players, have the capabilities. And for Western United, they head back home to Victoria, pleased with 3 points as they continue to move up the league table. But I've been Pekua Frimpong. Thank you so very much for joining me. It's been a fantastic afternoon of football. And as always, keep watching and keep enjoying the Ninja Ray League.